Hello folks, this is Tom Martin. This is my lottery strategy game, Decoding the Powerball guessing game. I'm picking my numbers for the drawing on May 13th, 2023. If you'd like to support my game, Decoding the Powerball, then please go to my Patreon page at www.patreon.com/Decoding the Powerball. Thank you, and please subscribe. Okay, so if you've never seen my videos before, the object of my game is for you to correctly eliminate groups of numbers. There are 69 white ball numbers in the Powerball Lottery. Only 5 numbers can come up as winners, so that means 64 numbers can't come up at all. So for me, I think it should be easier to pick the numbers that won't be coming up than the 5 that actually do. Okay, so with this video, I invite you to grab some paper and play along. Okay, so what you're looking at here is what I call the game card. This is where I try to eliminate the numbers and try to get it down to the 5 correct winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so you can see I have 5 colors on my game card. They are red, orange, green, blue, and purple. These represent the 5 correct winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so I'm going to go to the Powerball homepage, find out what those 5 white numbers were. And they were the 21, 24, 33, 55, and 69. The Powerball number was 3, but right now I'm only concerned about these 5 white ball numbers. Okay, so you can see I put these numbers at the top of this list, okay? And again, they were the 21, 24, 33, 55, and 69. Okay, so now I'm going to put some colors to it like I did here in the past. Okay, so you can see with this game card, this is for May 10th, so I need to update it to the 13th. But before I do, I need to get the colors for these numbers. Okay, so the 21 was red, the 24 was blue, the 33 was red, the 55 was orange, and the 69 was blue. Okay, so again, the 21 and the 33 were both red. The 24 and the 69 were both blue. And the 55 was orange. Okay, so 3 out of the 5 colors came up. So I'm going to make this 248 color code drawings I kept track of so far. And now a 3 color combination has now come up 123 times. Okay, so you can see a 3 color combination comes up the most. Okay, so what that means to me is that 2 colors are not coming up the most. Okay, so again, the object of the game is to eliminate groups of numbers. So the strategy here is try to correctly guess what color group will not be coming up and eliminate that group of numbers off of the game card. Okay, so you can see I do have, you can see that all 5 colors do come up. It's come up 17 times out of 248 drawings. So it comes up, but it's very rare. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to update my game card. So I'm going to get rid of all these colors and start from scratch. Okay, so here's my color code right here. Here's the red numbers, the orange, green, blue, and whatever's left over is purple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer these 15 numbers in the red area over to the game card as red numbers. Okay, so I'll start with the 21, the 24, the 33, the 55, and the 69. Next line down is the 15, the 20. The 33 is already taken, so the 36 and the 43. The next line down is the 31, the 39, the 47, the 51, and 53. Okay, so again, I'm going to make these red. And the 33 came up twice, so it should be 14 red numbers on my game card. So I'm going to count to make sure. So I got 2 and 4 are 6, 4 more are 10, and 4 are 14. So I'm going to put 14 up here. This tells me of how many of each color I have on the game card. Okay, so moving on to the orange, I'm going to transfer these 20 numbers over. So I'll start with the 21, which is taken. So I'll go to 26, the 30, the 45, and 47 is already taken. So the next line down is the 3, the 38, the 55 is taken. So the 61 and 66. The next line down is the 16, the 53 is taken. So the 54, 57, and 65. And the last line is the 2. The 15 is taken. The 30 is taken. So the 35 and 49. So I'm gonna make these orange, and now I'm gonna count how many orange numbers I have. So I got 3 and 2 are 5. 3 are 8. 2 are 10, and 4 are 14. So up here I'm gonna leave this alone at 14. Okay, so now I move on to the green area, then the blue, and whatever's left over is purple. But you can see I already did the game card for the 13th, so I'm just going to copy and paste just to kind of speed things up a little bit. Okay, so again, I had 14 red numbers, 14 orange, turned out to be 16 green, 16 blue, and 9 purple numbers. Okay, so what's the big deal about this? Well, the big deal is that I usually get double-digit numbers per color, okay? So I'm going through this little dry spell where there's only a single digit here. But you can see with this blue, the end of the blue, I got the 1, 27, 32, 47, 67. You can see the 67 and 27 are just about to go in the purple here. You know, this thing kind of acts like a caterpillar type thing. So I got a bunch of numbers coming in the purple, which will make it double-digit numbers again real soon, probably this next drawing. But anyways, you know, when I think about the lottery, I think about nothing but chaos. Okay, so to have any kind of consistency within that chaos, I think is a big first step. Okay, so again, when you have consistency, then things could get predictable. Okay, so I'm going to try to correctly predict what color group will not be coming up. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to look at is I'm going to decide what do I think it's going to be as far as the majority of numbers. Do I think it's going to be more odd numbers or more even numbers? Okay, so in the last 9 drawings, the majority has been odd numbers. So I'm going to say that this is going to be more even numbers than odd. Okay, so I'm going to look at each color and I'm going to probably get rid of the one that has the most odd numbers to it. Okay, so let's start off with the red. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 out of 14 numbers. Okay, so that's a lot. Okay, so let's take a look at orange. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's even. Okay, and then green, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 out of 16. That's pretty good as well. Okay, and then blue, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 out of 16, that's not very good. And then purple, I got 1, 2, and that's it. Just 2 odd numbers out of... Okay, so the red with 11 odd numbers out of 14, I think is the best one to go with. So I'm going to get rid of all the red numbers. Okay, so I'm going to block these out. So when I block out red numbers like this, or when I block out numbers like this means I'm not even going to consider these numbers when I'm picking what I think would be the 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so if I made the correct guess here and none of these blocked out numbers come up, then I just reduce the odds for myself, you know, giving myself better odds to win some kind of prize here in the Powerball Lottery. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to the next strategy called the individual numbers. Okay, so maybe you heard the saying divide and conquer. All right, so this is my way of dividing the lottery here. Okay, and hopefully I'll conquer it by picking the correct group of numbers that won't be coming up. So hopefully no red will be coming up and I just conquered that one. Okay, so hopefully that logic makes sense. Okay, so moving on. Here's the individual numbers up here at the top, and over here to the left are the numbers that just came up. Again, it was the 21, 24, 33, 55, and 69. Okay, so up here at the numbers at the top, what I decided to do was I took the 69 numbers and I divided it into 7 different groups. Okay, so here's group number 1. It holds the numbers of 1 through 9. Of course, this is the only group with 9 numbers, where the other 6 have 10 numbers to it for 69 numbers. Okay, so this 4 tells me that in the last drawing, these lottery numbers hit 4 out of the 7 groups. Okay, so what that means to me is that 3 of these groups did not have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so how this works and how it goes hand in hand with the color code is that this 21 is red. So I'm going to follow this till I find the 21, and here it is right here. Okay, so I made it a Okay. Okay, sorry about that. But there's the 21. And again, this is how the color code goes hand in hand with this. So let me point out these numbers on 1 through 9. And I'm looking at this and I see the red, green, blue, and purple. The only color I'm missing is the orange. So as I'm scrolling down, I still don't see any orange, and finally here's an orange right here. Okay, so you can see that all the other colors have coming up, you know, on a regular basis. So where's the orange? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the game card, and I'm going to look at the numbers on 1 through 9 and see if there's any orange numbers there. Okay, so I got the 2 and the 3 that are orange, and an orange number hasn't come up in a long time. So, you know, what I decided to do to see how long a number hasn't come up is I decided to make this big square right here 5 drawings. Okay, so that just makes it easier for me to count. So and here's an orange number, so it's been 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, going on 32, and 3 more. We're going on 35 drawings here. So that's an awful lot of drawings not to have an orange number. So I'm thinking that maybe either the 2 or the 3 will be coming up here in tonight's drawing. Or if not tonight, probably the next one or the next one after that. You know, I'm just saying that this is a long dry streak here. Okay, so let's move on to 10 and 19. Okay, so I don't see any red. So here's a red down here. And I don't see any purple as well. So here's the purple. So it's been 5, 10, 15, 20. Going on something 20-something drawings. Let's look at the 10 through 19 for purple numbers. So I got the 12, 13, and 14. And again, I'm just going to keep these numbers in the back of my head for right now. Okay, so moving on to the 20s. I see red, orange, blue, purple. Where's the green? The green's right here. So all 5 are pretty close to the top. So that's really no big help. And then in the 30s, I got red, orange, green, blue, purple. Again, no big help. I got red, orange. Where's the green? The green's right here. Again, no big help. I got red, orange, green, blue, purple. Again, no big help here. And been a while for the orange as well, so it's been 5, 10, 15, 20 something drawings. Let's take a look at the game card for an orange number in the 60s, and it's the 61, 65, and 66. Okay, so again, the overall strategy here is try to correctly guess what color, I keep on saying color group, but just what group will not be coming up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with these 30 numbers, okay? Because a 30 number has come up in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drawings. And when that happens, it usually doesn't go 6. It's like a high probability in like the 90s that it's not going to go 6, okay? So the question is, you know, can it go 6? Yeah, absolutely it can, right? So this is where the betting comes in, okay? So I'm going to buy a Powerball ticket worth $3. So in other words, I'm betting $3 that none of these 30 numbers will come up in this drawing, okay? So I'm going to go back to the game card, and I'm going to eliminate all the 30 numbers off of my game card. So I get rid of the 30, 32, 34, 35, 37, 38, and hopefully those numbers do not come up. So again, if I made a correct guess here and none of these blocked out numbers come up, then the 5 correct winning Powerball numbers still have to be left here on my game card as a highlighted number. Okay, so I'm moving on to another group, another strategy, which I call the groups. Okay, now so this is my group 4, and I call it group 4 because I divided it into 4 different color groups. I also have a group 6, group 8, and group 10. All right. So I'll show you how this one works real quick here. So the numbers were the 15. sorry, that's not right. Okay, so the numbers were the 21, the 24, and the 33. Okay, so I made the 3 here in blue. That represents that 21, 24, 33. And then the 55 and 69 were both in green, so I have that here with the 2. So there's no winning Powerball numbers in the red area and no winning Powerball numbers in the orange. It hit 2 out of the 4 groups, and the majority of the numbers are over here to the left side, so I'm going to keep this 2 red. Okay, so if the majority was over here to the right side, I'll color this this 2 green. Okay, so the reason why I do that is when I see something like this, where it's been a lot of green, I think about flipping a coin. How many times can it come up heads before it comes up tails? So I look at that and I say, okay, when's it going to start turning red? There's only 2. It's either green or red. And you can see it's going to go back and forth, back and forth. This is kind of what what's the word I'm looking for? Well, I'm sure it'll come to me in a second here. Okay, but the strategy is try to correctly guess where this 0 is going to pop up. Okay, so if I could have correctly guessed that none of these red numbers were going to come up in the last drawing, I could have gotten rid of all these numbers off of my game card and gave myself a much better chance of winning some kind of prize with the Powerball Lottery. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so I also have a Powerball number 2. Okay, so this is how this one works. So, again, the winning numbers were the 21 and the 69 were both in green, so I made this a 2 right here. And then the 24 was in orange, so I made that 1 right here. Then the 33 and 55 were both blue, so I put that 2. And that means that there was no winning Powerball numbers here in the red area. Okay, so now I also have a Powerball number 3 as well. And you can see that this one has, it's all set up here with that it's even. And what I mean by that is that there's no numbers at the top here. Okay, so with this last drawing, it was the 21 and the 69 were both in yellow, so you can see I have this 2 here. Okay, so since there was 2 hits here, I color it a light red. So if there's 2 zeros over here, I color it a light blue. Okay, if there's 3 zeros, I color it a dark blue. If 3 hits, I color it a dark red. Okay, so it's kind of it's what I'm trying to say is this is why I keep track of every 3 drawings like this. And this is why I have different perspectives of this. So I always have one of these with 2 numbers at the top. Okay, so with 2 numbers at the top, now I get to use some tools. Okay, I get to look at this and I say, hey, is there going to be a blue mark like right here? Do I think there's going to be a blue mark? If so, well, I got 2 options. I got the red and the green. That can be a blue mark. Okay, so what I usually first do is I look over here and I try to correctly guess what color this is going to be. Okay, so I'm looking at this and I'm thinking that this is going to be a green number. Okay, so I think the majority of the numbers will be on this side. And I'm kind of liking this red to have a 0 to it because I don't know. So I'm going to move on. I got 9 of these option cards to look at. And then I got a group A, 8A, where I have 3 of these option cards. And this is an 8 group, so I know that 3 of these color groups cannot have a winning Powerball number to it. And I also have a group 10, where I know that 5 of these color groups cannot have a winning Powerball number to it. And this is a 50-50 guess. Okay, so going back to this group 4, this group 4 is very hard to pick because there's 4 color groups and 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so I look at this and I say, okay, what kind of good information can this give me? And I look at it and I say, okay, a triple hit comes up a lot. So you can see here's a 0 where that triple hit didn't happen. Excuse me. But for the majority of the time, a triple hit comes up. So I'm looking at this and I got 5, I got all 4 of these that have a triple hit opportunity, So I'm looking at it saying, okay, which one? And I'm kind of thinking the blue. So I'm kind of thinking that one of these, or maybe even 2 of these blue numbers will be coming up. Okay, so maybe I'll just mark it. I'll mark it with a red saying I think there's going to be a hit here. Okay, but ultimately, I want to pick where the 0 is going to pop up. Okay, so I'm moving on. This is certainly something that I like to see, where it's really dark red for a while. So I am thinking that this is going to be a red number, so I think the majority of the numbers will be on this side. So I am kind of liking this one right here. I think I'm going to go for it. Okay, so when I mark it blue like this means I'm going to get rid of the numbers off of the game card. So when I go to update this, I'll look at it and say, hey, I got this correct. None of these numbers came up, or one of these came up and burned me. Okay, so I'll get rid of the 11, 12, 20, 21 to start. So I'll get rid of the 11, 12. Then I get rid of the 15, 24, 25. So I'll get rid of the 25. And then I get rid of the 44, 53, and the 61, and then the mirror on the other side. So I'll get rid of the 44, 56, and 61. And then I'll get rid of the 57 to the 59 plus the 50. So I'll get rid of all of those numbers. Whoops. And hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so again, if I made the correct pick, the 5 correct winning Powerball numbers still have to be left here on my game card. Okay, so moving on. See if I see anything else that I like. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so with this one, you see these dark red bands with all 3 red numbers here? I don't see that with a green. And it has that opportunity right here. So I think the majority of the numbers will be on this side. And I'm looking at this red, just seeing how hot things have been here. So I'm thinking that this is going to be a 0. And this represents, all odd numbers. And I think more even numbers are going to come up. So I'm going to get rid of this one. So I'll get rid of the 1, 3, 11, 19 to start. So I get 1, 3, 19. And then I'll get rid of the 7, 9, 17, 25. And then I'll get rid of the 43, 51, 59, 67, and the 69. So I get rid of the 67. And then this little funky loop here with the 37, 45, 55, 47. So I get rid of the 45. And again, hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so moving on. I got 3 left. Okay, so if this is a 0, this is going to be another color like this, okay? And I'm looking at this, I see 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2. This has a chance to go 3, like right here. So I think that's going to happen. So I'm going to pick this one as well. So I'll get rid of the 4, 18, 20, 22, 28. So I get rid of the 4, 18, 22, 28. And then I'll get rid of the 14, 16, 24, 26. So I'll get rid of the 14, 16, 26. Then I get rid of the 36, 44, 56, 64. So I get rid of the 64. And then I get rid of the 42, 50, 58, 66. So I get rid of the 42 and the 66. And hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so I do have an overview as well. Here in the orange, all 9 option cards had a winning Powerball number to it. There's 3 zeros here in the red area, 2 in the blue, 1 in the green. So 6 zeros total. So there's usually plenty of zeros out there. The last drawing there was only 4, but still. Before that there was 11. So it just varies, but there's usually plenty of zeros. So I'm moving on to Group 8A. Again, I have 3 option cards here. And I know that 3 of these colored groups cannot have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so this is the overview of things. Now, what I looked for is a 0-3, like right here. Okay, so this tells me that with all 3 option cards, there is no winning Powerball number in all 3 of them. Okay, so another thing that I look for is, you can see I got this border here. Now, I border things up like that when things flip-flop. Okay, so you can see it's 1-2, then it flip-flop to the 2-1. So I bordered that up. So over here, I'm looking at this blue, and there hasn't been a border in a long time here. So if there's going to be one, it's going to be 2-1. So we'll take a look at this blue to see if I think there's going to be any hits. Okay, so I can see a hit here. So the 27 to the 30 and the 66 to the 69. So I got the 27, 29, and the 68. That are still left on my game card. Okay, so I thought there was going to be 2 of them. And maybe this will be the hit too. So there's that 29 again. Okay, so now to try to guess where that zero is going to pop up here. Okay, so a triple zero comes up a lot, and a triple hit comes up a fair amount as well. So for a triple zero opportunity, I got the blue and I got the purple. And I have a yellow as well. I have a feeling that this is going to be a red number. So I think the majority of the numbers will be on this side. I'm kind of liking this orange to have a hit as well. So it's the 4 to the 30 and the 42 to the 69. So I got the 13 and the 60 that are still left on the board. Okay, so I'm going to leave this one alone. I'm going to move on. That's why I gave myself so many option cards, is so I could, like cherry pick through these things and give myself the best chance, I guess. Okay, so I'm thinking this red is going to have a hit to it for a triple hit. Again, it's the 18 to the 22 and the 57 to the 60. There's that 60 again. Okay, so I'm going to leave this one alone too. Hopefully I'll see something here. Okay, I do have a triple zero opportunity here. And here, there hasn't been a triple zero in a long time with this green. But it does represent all even numbers, and I don't like that, so I'm going to move on to 8B. Okay, so I'm going to go right to the overview. Okay, so you can see these 03s, they just kind of hover right to the top, So I look for one that hasn't been there in a while, and I see this blue and purple. Okay, so here's a triple zero opportunity here in the purple. It does get rid of mostly odd numbers. The only one here is the 64, so I think I'll go with that. And I'll get rid of that 13, so it's the 1, 13, 19, 13, 29 anyways. And then the 35, 47, 53, 64. And all those numbers are gone. Okay, so moving on. I don't like these purple numbers because there's a lot of even numbers here. Okay, so with this one, I'm going to go with the yellow. I'm not sure what's going on with my internet, but I'm going to go with the yellow. So I get rid of the 4, 13, the 23, 41, 54. So I get rid of the 23, 41, 54, 63, and the 52, I do believe. Yeah, okay, so they're all gone. So I'm getting down there. Hopefully I made the correct picks. Now I got 3, 6, 9, 10, 14 numbers left. I got to get down to 5. Okay, so moving on. Move on to 8C. Go right to the overview again. Again, I only have 3 of these option cards. Then in the overview. So I'm looking at this gray to see if any of these 03s have ever doubled up. So here they are doubled up. Try that with the orange as well. See here, they never doubled up. And hopefully it's due to, because I'm going to go with the orange. So I'm going to get rid of all 3 of these option cards in the orange area. Okay, so I get rid of the 1 to the 27 of these crescent moons. So I get rid of the 27 and the 49. Now with this one, I get rid of the 14 to the 17 and the 44 to the 47. So I get rid of the 6. And with this one, I get rid of the 4, 22, 17, 34. And then the 35, 53, 52. And 48, 66. So I get rid of the 48. Okay, so now I'm getting down there. I got 2, 5, 5, and equals 10. I got 10 numbers on my game card here. So the reason why I believe in this is because one time I reduced the numbers down to 10 like this, and the 5 correct winning Powerball numbers landed within these 10 numbers. I only got 2 numbers correct that day, but I looked at it and said, wow, I gave myself a much better chance of winning a really good prize. Okay, so the only thing I could assume right now is that the 5 correct winning Powerball numbers are within these 10 numbers right here. Okay, so I'm going to keep on going and try to get it down to 5. And I'm going to move on to my group 10. Okay, so this is the best odds. And a 000 comes up a lot. So I got a 000 opportunity here with the red, blue, and orange, and the brown. And I looked for one that hasn't come up in a while, and I'm looking at this brown. This one kind of looks like the one to go with. So I'm going to go with this brown. So I'll get rid of the 7, 8, 9 and the 3, 11, 18, 19. So I'll get rid of the 8. And then with this one, I got the 000 in the blue, green, turquoise, and light blue. I'm looking at this turquoise. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a bunch more. The green, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Blue, I see 1, 2, 3, 4. And over here with the light blue, I see 2. So just 2 of these. So I'm thinking that this is due to have a 0 to it. So I get rid of the 27, 44, 54, 64. And then the 39, 40, 49. So I get rid of the 40. And hopefully that number does not come up. Okay, so I got one more. So I got the 000 in the blue, green, turquoise, and brown. Maybe this blue will double up like right here. So I'm going to go with that. So I get rid of the 10, 18, 19. So I get rid of that 10. Then the 40, 41, 49, 50. Okay, so I'm getting down there. I got 3, 5, 6, 7. So I like that 2. And I like the 60. So I'm going to protect those. Okay, so let's look at the overview. Again, I'm looking for a 03 that hasn't popped up in a while. Or I'm looking for one that's going to repeat like this turquoise. Just repeated here. Here. So maybe it's due to repeat again. So we're going to go with this turquoise. Okay, so the 15, 23, 31, 34, 49, 58, 67, okay, so I got the 4, 5, so I get rid of that 5. Okay, then the 42, 57, 38, 53. And there's nothing there. Okay, so one last one. The turquoise again. Okay, the 5, 8, 9, then the 37, 44, 52, 62. And I'll get rid of that 62. And that will bring me down to 5 numbers. Okay, so I'll go with the 2, the 46, the 60, the 65, and the 68. Okay, so now to pick a Powerball number. So the Powerball number was 3. So I'm going to update this real quick. Okay, so over here on the left side, there's 26 red ball numbers in the Powerball Lottery. So I just divided these in 2. So if you see a blue number, that's low, 1 to 13. If you see a red number, that's high, 14 and 26. Over here on the right side, I divided the numbers into odds and evens. So if you see a red number, that's odds. If you see a black number, that's evens. Okay, so a pattern that I've been following here is one like this, where this 14 comes up, then the 5, 19, then the 14 comes right back up. Okay, here it is with the 9, the 10, 7, 9 comes right back up. The 10, 2, 20, 10 comes right back up. The 6, 11, or 5, 11, 25, 4, well, 25, you see that pattern anyways. The 12, 5, 26, 12, the 13, 20. So this pattern happens a lot. I think it happens a lot anyways, and it hasn't happened for a little while. So I'm going to say that the 23 came up, then the 6, then the 3, then the 23 comes right back up. Okay, so that's what I'm going to go with. Okay, so I think Sherlock Holmes said it the best when he said it's a matter of deduction. So if these blocked out numbers don't come up, then these 5 white ball or these 5 colored balls or whatever, these 5 highlighted balls have to come up. Okay, so I'll say that again. You know, like Sherlock Holmes would say, it's a matter of deduction. So if these blocked out numbers don't come up, then these 5 highlighted numbers have to come up. Okay, so let's go over the odds. The odds to get the grand prize, all 5 white ball numbers and the red ball, the odds are 1 in 292 million that you're going to get it correct. My game is mostly geared up for the white ball numbers. Okay, so just get the white ball numbers. The odds are 1 in 11,688,000. So, in other words, you can make nearly 12 million 5-number combinations out of 69 numbers. Okay, so I don't want to give any kind of illusions that this is going to be easy to win. So another great prize to win would be 4 white ball numbers and a red ball. That pays $50,000 plus the power play if you play it. You can see the odds are just about 1 in a million. Okay, so I do like to play responsibly. I like to play $3 per drawing. Okay, there's 3 drawings per week. There's 52 weeks in the year. If you add all that up, I will spend $468 per year on my game, Decoding the Powerball. Okay, so in closing, again, I'd like to thank you for watching. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it. Okay, again, you can support my game through my Patreon page at patreon.com/Decoding the Powerball. And if you'd like to give me any feedback, then please email me at decodingpowerball@gmail.com. Again, that's just decodingpowerball@gmail.com. And as always, with $125 million on the line, I want to wish you the best of luck with your picks.